Where I am now, better than before, through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, the FYI radio show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now.
Hey, Coach, how do you pronounce your first name? Taisha? Okay. And it's Coach.
And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Everette's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WMVA 88.9 FM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We shout you out later on in the show. Did I say Instagram?
Yes.
All right, then.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go over to our new channel on YouTube. That is FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. And you can still go to Crystal Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll shout you out. For real.
Shout out.
We'll shout you out for real. Just go over there right now. Mr. E, is Fun Friday, and it's a little chilly here in Hampton Roads.
That's right. It's chilly in the city. I mean, sometimes you had to put your coat on.
How did it go from 80 to 83 to
and air conditioning on yesterday? Yeah.
Oh my goodness! But nevertheless, we're in spring. You can expect anything, but it's still beautiful, lovely, and I'm glad it's the weekend.
That's right. It's right here.
Absolutely, Mr. E. This is our FYI Fun Friday segment. What's in your closet? Issues concerning women.
That's right. We love to know more and more about issues that the women put us, so we'll be aware of who they are and what they are.
If you all don't know us by now, you may never know us, but you know a little bit about us, don't you, Mr.
That's right. We know a little bit about you because there's so many of women that are changing hats and play different roles. And, you know, today they might be Mabel, tomorrow they might be Sessa.
I don't know what that means, but I tell you what, we do change a lot. And
That's
I tell
right.
you what, there's nothing wrong with that. But I tell you what, this is our wonderful segment. And we have a great guest with us. We're going to do it up close and personal. And I hope I don't mess her name up. Taisha McCoy. We call her Coach Ty. Let's just call her Coach Ty.
Yeah.
And she's a National Certified Professional Mediator. She is the founder, CEO of Allure Certified Professional Mediators, Steps to Connect, Inc., and coaching and consulting services. And we want to say good morning, Coach Ty. Good morning. How are you on this beautiful Friday?
I'm doing well. All is well. And it's just a pleasure to be on the show this morning. I thank you for the invite and the warm welcome. And definitely excited about talking with you, to your guests, and sharing some thoughts and innovative mindsets. I'm so excited this morning.
I tell you what, Coach Ty, we have your bio here. It's so much wonderfulness. And I tell you what, your journey seems so interesting. Tell us about yourself from you. We can read it, but I want to know who you are and all these wonderful accomplishments, how you have done it.
Absolutely. It's hard to talk about this stuff because that's always what I'm asking someone to do, tell me about themselves. Let's see. Well, there are many facets to who Coach Todd is. First, I am definitely a wife, a mother, a professional. Used to work for the school system for 22 years, and I had an opportunity to go ahead and retire early because I wanted to go ahead and actually jump into the arena and start my own business as an entrepreneur. So I traded in the 9 to 5 for 24/7. And, a lot of times people don't know what they're getting into when you do start your own business and, you venture out and you're looking to not only change your perspective about life, but the people who you actually present yourself to. So starting out, I actually had an opportunity to start my own nonprofit back in 2015, which is called Build Not Break. Build Not Break was about closing the gaps and connecting the dots in the community, wanting to be a resource for those who just didn't know where to go, where to look, and what they needed. So whether it was they were facing homelessness, teen pregnancy, if they substance abuse using, or it was just a young lady out here searching for a job and I don't have an outfit to wear. So I can actually look abroad and find out what resources are available to them in the community when they don't know where to look. So I would try to place myself in the middle to make sure that they can connect with those resources that are available to us. I do have a radio show myself called Tough Talk Today. Myself and my co-host, Debbie Dell Long. She is absolutely amazing. We are yin and yang. She is such a blessing to me. She's such a friend, a confidant, and she's someone who definitely helps balance out the show. I'm also an author. I've written a couple of books that lead into what Steps to Connect is about, which is business development, leadership guidance, building morale, assisting with retention gaps if those companies and organizations are faced with those things, and just providing a white glove service to them and letting them know, hey, I'm here for what you have going on so that I can continue to help make things better within the community concerning your business needs. And I'm a singer-songwriter.
Wow.
I definitely put some emphasis on that because that is really my first passion, my first love. And didn't really want to go into the industry to do it.
Yes.
Lady Hinton, however, I love sharing my gifts. So when I do have people who call and say, hey, hi, can you come sing at this anniversary, this event, this show, can you host, can you MC? And bring a song with you, I'm there for it.
Oh, that is
marvelous.
marvelous.
So many things that I love.
And see, I didn't know that. Oh, so we have that in common. That is marvelous. But Coach Ty, I want you to rewind and tell me about your childhood because as a girl, did you have some things in your mind that you wanted to do? I was just looking at the NCAA and one of the young ladies that just got drafted to the WNBA said they showed a video of her as a little girl with a vision board saying she wanted to be in the WNBA. Can you go back and tell us what it was like as a child and your vision for your future?
Absolutely. There were just so many things that were going on in my life. At the age of 13, I actually found out that my mother was a substance abuse user. So my life took a pivot in that part. And when you're growing up in that era with no parental guidance, it's very difficult for you to even think that a vision could even come into play. You're not even trying to comprehend what things could be good or what the outcomes may be because everything looks so grim and so dark. However, I never lost faith. I knew that, God had a presence in my life because I had to go back to the roots. I know how I was raised. So
Yes.
from birth until 13, that mindset took over. Even though I probably drifted into some areas where I knew I was not supposed to go,
Yes.
because I was a victim of sexual assault, and we're celebrating that this month as well.
Mhm.
A victim of domestic abuse. I definitely did some things that I know led me down some paths that could have been detrimental
Yes.
to my vision, to my life, to things that I really wanted to take part in. However, the favor of God played a part.
Wow.
So just opening up the opportunities for me to see what was available to me, I just kept pushing. Perseverance is key.
Yes.
And then, of course, having the support of those that were in the community. I had many mothers, many
Wow.
supporters,
Yes.
that kept me going, that, kept whispering in my ear, don't stop, keep going, go to school, get your education. There are so many things that you're gifted with, God. Don't stop.
Yes.
And that kept things going for me. That gave me an indication that there is something special here. There is something special that I have to share.
That
Even
is
though I love
marvelous.
music, Lady
Yes.
Hinton, I knew that my voice was going to be used in many different ways.
Yes.
Whether it's going to be used to uplift, encourage, edify, as well as give singing and song to those who I may change through music and rhythm and rhyme.
Absolutely.
However, you have to stay on course. You can't let things get you down. You have to be in a mindset where you know who you are. Once you know who you are, then you're unstoppable. You are
Yes.
unstoppable.
That is
Nothing can come in
marvelous.
close.
I wanted to ask you about coaching. Who needs a coach, and does it make your life better to have one? Coach Ty? I think we lost.
Wait, Hinton?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, because I could hardly hear you. I was
Okay.
like, did we go off?
No, we're
Yes,
here.
we're
Okay,
here. Who needs
still
a
here.
yes, I wanted to know
And
who
yes,
needs
I'm
a
just
coach.
looking at, just different opportunities that were awarded to me, and I had those who were just willing to really step in place and help me along the way.
Absolutely. My question was who needs a coach, and does it make your life better to have one?
Coach Ty, can you hear us?
But no, I can't.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
it's
The
very
question
faint.
is, who needs a coach?
Who
Hold
needs
on.
a coach?
Yeah.
I think everyone needs a coach. Everyone. Especially when it comes to goal setting, when you're just needing someone to talk with that can help you and advise you in a very special way. Coaching and counseling is very different. Counseling, basically, we're telling you what to do and how to do it. Coaching, we're putting things in place for you and we're taking that walk with you, we're taking those steps with you. And we're pretty much that broken wing that we take on some situations with you until that wing heals. And then you can fly straight.
Oh, wow, that is marvelous. Now, can you hear me? I want to ask you about a quote.
That's a little bit better.
Okay, great. I wanted to ask you about a quote. I think you said people are my business and I take care of my business. Tell us about that quote.
Absolutely. That quote came in place the moment that I knew that I wanted to be a life coach. Things that were happening in my life, I knew that these were going to be the experiences and the expertise that I was going to be able to live and help people with. A lot of times people are like, when they go look for a doctor, they don't know how long that doctor has been doing what they do. They just know that they went to school, they have a degree, and they have those letters in front and behind their name. However, they don't know if they really have the experience, the knowledge and the know-how other than the book smart to do what they do. When you can talk with someone who has experienced so many things in life where those experiences did not take them down a path where it kept them there. They didn't stay stagnant. They actually overcame those situations. People want to see how can that work for them, and not saying that, my services are cookie cutter. However, I know that when I'm speaking with someone and they can share a situation with me and I can give them some indication on what those situations look like and how the outcomes may be. So people are going to be my business and I'm going to take care of them in the best way possible. And that's why, coaching is truly a situation that I see that people really need to tap into. I love psychiatry. I love, someone actually sitting down and going over situations with you and giving you specific guidance on a clinical basis. But when I can come to you on an experimental basis, where I can tell you these are experiences that I've gone through, I've been through, whether it's blended family, whether it's domestic abuse, whether it's dating, you're going to see things differently in that situation because now I can identify with your situation.
Wow, that's wonderful. Good morning. This is Ed Everett. Good morning to you, Coach. And what a powerful, powerful word. I was just looking at how you was explaining. Here's the question that I would like to know is, what way does the community? How can the community help you in ways to help them to rise above?
Absolutely. One, the community needs to come together and we need to truly identify the need. Once we know what our needs are, then we can look for the resolve. A lot of times people don't even know what it is that they need. So they're going from one situation to the next, not knowing, not having a place to turn, and not talking to the right people. Folks who are financially set, you're going to want to talk to them because you're going to want to know, how did you get to where you are? I wouldn't really, people can say, well, anybody can tell me, what to do if they're in certain situations. I understand that. I get it. Yes, there are wise people all over. However,
Yes.
I want to know, what did you do to get to where you are? How did you persevere? How did you get through? And a lot of times people don't want to share their secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be. It should be a gain for anyone to share how they've overcome and how they've reached the goals that they've accomplished. We need to be able to do that with each other. Share what's going on. Even in the word, it says, confess our sins one to another so that we may be healed.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to identify situations with those who are out here hurting and, they're going through certain situations. We need to be able to assist them in some type of way by sharing the information to give them the knowledge that they need. Then we can set them up to continue to seek on and get what they need to move further to the next steps in life.
Coach,
they may get there a little sooner than I did.
Coach, do you find that people are copycats, that they follow after one another? They seen somebody else do it in their family, and they going through the same identical thing. Like the doctors would ask the question about your family. Does your mama have high blood pressure? Does your daddy have? Are family members and people today are carbon copies of what they've been through?
Absolutely. There are going to be situations out there where people will identify with what their, biggest influence was in the household and where they've come from. A lot of times we are grounded by the situations that, we identified with and the environments that we come from. If your eating habits, were eating, high fat foods and fried foods and you were snacking and everything that came to you on the table, was saturated with, sweets and bread. That's how you're going to cook. That's how you're going to identify with your family. That's how you're pretty much going to, have a level of understanding when you present that to your family. You don't know anything else. No different than, single moms out here. We're putting, even now today, I talk to mothers who have sons. I let them know, stop making your sons your husband. You're getting them and identifying them with a place that is not, they're not ready for yet.
Yes,
Let them be
absolutely.
children. They are not the man of the house at 12 and 9 and 15 years old. Stop making them that.
Yes,
Show them and give
absolutely.
them the tools that they need to identify with out here socially. And, give them what they need to identify with so that they'll have something to lean back on.
And that
But
is
same thing with our young
absolutely
ladies.
right. Absolutely. I know you support a lot of organizations. Talk about that part of you that promotes and push out, things that others are doing.
Absolutely. Working in the community, I want to be able to support as many organizations as possible that support the community at large. Any, and this goes for anyone who is listening. If you do have an organization that you would like to partner with me so that I can help promote and get information out to those who you serve, please let me know. You can hit me up on all social media communication channels, and I'm sure Lady Hinton is going to leave some information of how you can get in touch with
Yes.
me. But yes, I want to be able to connect those in the community with what they may be doing, whether it's feeding the homeless, making sure that we're providing services and resources to our veterans, uh, making sure that children out here are reaching their literacy goals, um, just providing things for families where they're needing some assistance mentally and emotionally. I want to be able to connect them, with those services and resources. It is important. Our mental health is absolutely important. And if one person is not where they need to be within the household, that energy flows through. So
Absolutely.
you're going to definitely see
Yes.
that. So we want everyone to be able to get the help that they need.
So, Coach, can we go through your services again, specifically what people will know about you as far as your business and how they can reach you? Tell us, just give us a breakdown of those services.
Absolutely. For businesses, and I do consultations. So if there is a specific need within the business that you're needing, whether it's training development, leadership development, professionalism development, closing retention gaps, building morale, setting the climate, putting some things in place so that your employees can feel valued. I provide those services with training as well as workshops. I am a certified national mediator. Mediator services, basically, people can come in and they have a dispute and they need resolution.
Yeah.
And I come in and I'm someone who can provide those services for them and be someone who can mediate those services, um, basically being unbiased. I bring you together so that you can work out those differences and bring a resolve to that situation. And that can be in marriage, that can be in business relationships, real estate, even family matters, because we do have a lot of people when a loved one passes on, they're not sure how to handle the estate. They're not sure who gets what because nothing was left behind to really set things in place. So they don't have anything to identify those differences with. When it comes to situations where you're needing some to shed some light on information concerning your writing ability, you're not sure, hey, I have an idea, but I'm not sure in what direction I need to go. I can actually sit down with you. If you don't have a book title, I'm here to assist you with a book title. If you're not sure, how to really bring that business together, I am here for it. So I'm able to connect you with publishers, Black brands, which they assist entrepreneurs who are out here trying to build their businesses. I'm connected with community-based facilities where they're providing mental health services, intensive in-home, community stabilization, mentoring services. So I am here for the long haul.
Yes, you are.
If there's something you need, I'm here.
Coach, I got a question. All those hats that you're wearing, and you're wearing a lot of hats. All those hats that you're wearing, when does you have time for R&R?
I have to make that. I definitely set that time aside.
Yes.
I've learned, and this is something I even teach those who come into my presence and needing my services. They're like, how do you put yourself in a situation where you can get that downtime? I let them know straight up. I know how to say no without saying no.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. And you're just saying yes to yourself, not no to others.
Yeah.
I truly always have an opportunity to say yes to me so that I can get the time to rebuild and recharge and refuel and reset. It is very important to me to do that.
Did you learn from past experience, Coach, from or something that you had to go through in order for you to be able to help folks? Did you learn from previous experience, past experience, things that you went through in life?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I experienced homelessness. I slept in my car. Like I said, I had a
No.
single mother who experienced substance abuse. So there were times I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. And people always say, well, where was your family? Was anybody there to help you? I said, absolutely. However, when you're dealing with someone who's dealing with substance abuse, a lot of times that's a burden.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
people don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
And they're like, if she's coming, then I know the person who has, the situation that's at hand is going to follow that situation. So not saying my mother didn't love me and she didn't want what was best for me, because like I said, from birth until 13, that's what I gravitated to. I knew that my mother was an absolute amazing woman. Amazing. However, just like the peer pressure of what our culture is going through now, somebody puts something in front of you, you don't really know what it is, and they give you this false sense of direction, and then you fall into that pit.
Wow.
And
Yes.
my mother was a victim of that. She died at the age of 44. I
Oh,
was
that's
19.
young. Yes.
So my life really took a turn after that. And I'm an only child. So
Wow.
I didn't really have, the opportunities that some families have out here where they were like, hey, let's do this. We're going to do this. But yes, I had 2 children before I graduated high school. And yes, I said I graduated high school. No, I did not drop out. No, I did not go back for the GED. I walked across the stage and I got my diploma.
Oh, that is
So
marvelous.
it was very, very difficult. Very difficult. However, again, perseverance is key. If you're determined not to be a statistic, you will put yourself in place to be determined to do those things that will let you rise to the occasion.
Absolutely. Coach Ty, we have a couple of minutes, but I want you to speak to our ladies. This is our women's segment. And then I want you to give your contact information. But what would you say to any young girl, any woman, any young lady at this point in your life?
Oh, wow. I would tell them, there's no risk, that you can't take where you can't think that there's not going to be a reward. You have to seek it. You have to take those risks, and you have to stay encouraged while going through the muddy waters. You're going to come out clean. You just have to really set things in place, set boundaries, understand who you are as an individual, and know exactly what it is that you want, need, and where you're going. Those things have to take account. You have to know who you are, where you're going, and where you come from.
Wow.
Because you don't want to repeat what you've done in the past that has set you back.
Absolutely.
That's giving you what you need for your future.
Yes.
So
give us some contact information for your business so people can contact you or see you on social media. Any of your contact information for our listeners and viewers?
Absolutely. Anyone can contact me on all of my social medias. You can contact me through my website as well. Just go to STEPS, STEPS, the number 2, connect.org. And I have information there. You can email me. You can leave me a message. You can even check out some awesome and wonderful quotes that I do. I call them Coach Ty quotes and notes. This opportunity to bring upliftment, just to give you ideas of who I am, what I share. And I let everybody know I'm not for everybody. I am an acquired taste when it comes to my coaching ability. So, if you're not ready for the truth, if you're not ready for, to really identify and be, one with yourself, and you're ready for that mirror moment, I'm your girl.
Well, we want to say thank you so much, Coach Ty. We would love to have you on our After Dark show. We will contact you, but we want to say have a wonderful and blessed day.
Absolutely. You guys take care. Have an amazing day.
Thank you. All right, you all come over here just a few minutes. We want to share some upcoming shows. Be blessed. Have a wonderful weekend.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton. Our special guest has been none other than Coach Ty. And for more information about Coach Ty, you can go to steps2.org on an email and let her know that you heard her on the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the most talked about radio show, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861. Or you can inbox us at whatever's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or you can email us at FYIRadioshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3, and WMVA 88.9 FM. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. This journey, things will come to see. I found this precious.
All right. We want to say thank you to Coach Ty for being with us. Wow, she has so many things that she specializes in. She's a national certified professional mediator. She is the founder, CEO of the Lore Certified Professional Mediators. Step to Connect, I've heard of that, Inc., coaching and consulting services. So I'm telling you, in this day and time, 2024, it's nothing wrong with having somebody that has your back, that is a support system that can help you through the rough times. You know, Ms. D, I've had conversations just recently with some folk, and, you know, people are going through, their children are going through, their husbands or their wives are going through. And sometimes you need that extra support. Sometimes you need that person to say, look, you can make it. I was talking to somebody and they were like almost at the end of their rope. And, it's like sometimes you really need somebody to inspire you or push you to go over that hump. Sometimes we're hanging on just by a string.
You're right, Miss Hinton, because when we look at what the cares of life and the things that are happening all over the world. Yesterday, I was just looking at some MFNBC, and I was just looking at the news. And I began to see that everything that is happening wrong is now being uncovered. And when you look at everything that happens wrong, the crookedness of what's in the world, and how people have gravitated to the wrongness of the world, now they don't know how to deal with making wrong right again. Because every page of the book, every page of this journey, everywhere you go, there's always somebody having some type of problem that they have to face, whether wrong, falling down here. It's just like Coach Ty said just a few minutes ago, where she was homelessness. She had to sleep in her car. It's just like she was letting us know that the problem, the cares of this world was heavy upon her, and that she had to, really go through in order for her to be able to tell somebody about it. She said something that was so key. There are support systems.
Yes.
There are people that are our support system, but what are they doing? You don't want to be a burden to nobody else, so you got to go through this all by yourself. We had one of the greatest referees in our on our show one time before, and he's a basketball referee right now, and he said to us he keeps his psychiatrist in his back pocket. He said he carried her everywhere he go for that just in case moment, or suddenly you had to endure something. We're living in it, Miss Hinton.
And that is the truth, Mr. E. Is so much going on. And just like you were saying just a minute ago, you were saying, to see how things are playing out in this time, you can see on TV in real time the crookedness, and and the leadership, how things are dissolving, and they won't stop fighting, and right in front of our very eyes,
Bombs going around.
bombs
Yeah.
going off and things
Yeah.
like that. And it's just it's a crazy time. And the thing about it with social media, Mr. E, we see everything in real time.
Yeah.
At one time back in the day, you could get it in the newspaper, a week later or whatever. We seeing stuff right as it happens, seeing it in real time. And these are really trying times. And so people, I really believe they need something that can help sustain them mentally.
That's right.
To spiritually, they really need God in their lives to hold on, because everything that can be shaken will be shaken. And you have to make sure that you're on a solid foundation.
That's right, Miss Cynthia. And not only that, people need someone that they can really have trust in and confidence in.
Oh my goodness!
One
Yes.
time or another, you can go to the man of God or your pastor of your church, and you can talk to him. But if you look at it, some pastors got more that the issues in the church have now been what the pastor's going through. Now it's been exposed. Everything is on a rocky road. You go to the left, you can't talk to your husband, you can't talk to your spouse, you can't talk. People just say, I need somebody that we can dialogue with to let them know what this world is going through. You at odds for one with your family members, so just because you're going through something, everybody telling you that you're wrong. So when you decide to go to the family reunion or go to your mom and them house, they said hide the silverware. Hide the plate, pass the bowls, because here she come. Everything need to be nailed down because they don't trust you.
What about, Mr. E, the fact that everybody telling all their business online?
Online, I mean, when you look at Facebook, social media, TikTok, the whole nine yards,
everybody.
You can find it's nothing sacred. But here's the kicker part. When folks drop that information on these social media platforms, there are other folks are picking that up. And what they're doing is saying that they're releasing it out from them, and somebody else is picking it up. So the ones who picking it up don't know where to deposit it at. So it become part of their lives. Normally we supposed to be taking our burdens to the Lord and we deposit it there. But if folks doing that anymore in this century, are they recognizing that there is a God somewhere, or do they believe that if they talk to God and leave it there, that it's going to be all right?
You telling the truth. They deposit it for you, and you take it, and every day you eating up this whatever people are giving. You're eating it up.
And bring it into your household. Bring it into your society. Bring it into your realm. You can't find positive in negative situation. And it looks like every time you turn around, somebody got crookedness here and crookedness there. Now, here's the question, Ms. Hinton, that we need to ask all the people. Where are the honest folks that want to do right at?
Somewhere, I'm sure. Look, I'm sure the Lord hasn't taken the church away, or those that believe in Him. But thank God there are honest people still here. And people are still wanting to be the light, the salt, and preservative of the earth.
That's right.
That is wonderful. We have some upcoming shows. We're going to have Miss Tamika Quinn soon. She's going to talk about childhood obesity. We have Mr. William Bynum, who has a total lifestyle change. I can't wait to talk to him because he had just overhauled his whole self. When the first of the year people talk about new beginnings and changing and doing that, well, he actually has done it. You can see the proof. He's going to tell us about how he has changed his way of eating, looking at life, his spiritual life, and things like that. Can't wait to have him on. And then please join Felicia Brown again with the Geneve House on our FYI After Dark show. And we'll just keep you updated on who's going to be on. We're looking to have some great shows.
And Ms. Hinton, we've been talking about autism.
Yes, absolutely.
So the last 2 Wednesdays of this month, we're going to be having someone from Edgerton that's going to be on our show, and we also got a special guest who has children that are autistic, and he's going to give his
personal experience on what it's like as a single father raising two children with autism.
Oh, have mercy. That autism thing is something as we get deep and deep into our research, but we'll have those that are coming on to give us more information and tell us exactly what it is, how they deal with it, and what you can do with it if you have someone, a loved one or a friend that suffers from autism.
Yeah.
So look, we served it. Mr. You got any tea to serve? I thought I had some tea. I told Mr. E to bring the teacup, baby.
Well, here's some tea that we can
What's
serve,
some
Miss
tea?
Hinton. Get your coffee cups. And
Y'all get your teacups. What's going on?
did you know that in the courthouse on yesterday, I just got to bring this up because I know it's the weekend and I want to start your day or your weekend off like running that. When you go to court, why is there so many excuses? It's cold in here that you cannot stay awake, and you walking around with all these newspapers, and then you got said, and you keep complaining it's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. Are you trying to give signals to folks who are not receiving that signal, anymore? They said they're not going to play that game with you anymore because they found out something different about you.
Well, Mr. E's talking about the court case with the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And the thing about it, Mr. E, they are moving swiftly.
That's right.
They already have the jurors. They are going to get the extra, the substitute jurors if anything happens to those. And they are talking about Monday doing the opening, what you call it? The opening
case.
Yeah. Started with them speaking about, what's going on and the beginning of the case and this, that, and the other. It's going to be very interesting.
Because there's a lot of chatter around the city. Around the city, there's a lot of chatter because they're wondering. They said, how in the world, this is word on the street, those who have been incarcerated, those who had charges against them, how they were shut down from doing anything. But they're wondering how in the world can a man with 94 charges continue to run for president? Is that what we want to run our country? Is that what we're looking for someone who has hush money out there, who don't want to turn his taxes in, and saying that past presidents are not really American citizens, and who has taken away some of the top secret documents, who have homes over in other countries? And is that the way that we want to start? Who think that he's above the law? Who think that he's above the law? That we want to run our country? Is that that's what American is all about, and not about the land of the free and the brave?
Well, I tell you what, keep watching, because I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. It's so many cases for this former president.
And money.
And so much.
Where is his money at, Miss Hinton? I'm sorry. I got to ask you this question. Where is that man's money? 174 and 4.454. Where is all of his money?
Well, I tell you what, Mr. E, they have a monitor on his businesses and organizations and things like that. He has to give an account to everything that he's doing. They're talking about now a $50 million loan that they just discovered. That's going on. Then the gag order. He has overstepped the gag.
Where is his money at?
I think eventually you will find out all the answers to your question. You all stay tuned. This thing is going to get good. You're going to have your popcorn, your tea, and everything, because we're going to just see how things play out with this case. But it's just so much going on, Mr. E. So many news stories. We're going to be covering that on our FYI After Dark. There is a lot. O.J. Simpson passed away. I don't know if we mentioned it during the time he did, but they're talking about his estate and what the Goldman family can get or what they can't get. It says that anybody opposes the will only gets $1. It's just too much. But Mr. E, anyway, you're going to let us know how we're going to be a special guest sponsor or intern with FYI Radio Show. It is just so much drama that goes on in the world. But we thank God that he keeps us stable and safe and loved. Sheila Robinson, good one. Mr. E got me calling you Robinson. Sheila Robbins, good morning. Valerie Watson Anderson, good morning. All you all that are on social media, thank you so much for coming on and sharing time with us. Thank you for your support.
We got a great man on here. It's Frederick Douglass. We
Frederick,
want to say
oh
good morning
my
to
goodness,
Frederick
where are you now?
Douglass,
Look, this is a
great
world
historian.
traveler.
Yeah, a great historian.
Where are you, young man?
I mean, if he ain't draining the swamp,
He is on the ball.
he's on the ball. And Frederick Douglass, he bring a lot of attention to Frederick Douglass, and I want to say congratulations.
Oh wow, so good to see you. But Mr. E, tell us how you can be a special guest sponsor, intern, with FYI.
That's right. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10, and on Monday nights from 6 until 7 o'clock p.m. on FYI After Dark.
Absolutely. Don't forget the ladies' music. Make it all right. Music everywhere. Go to Bulvick Academy as well and get the books and game and information, of course, about our anti-bullying movement. Don't forget to join us on Monday. Look, sports talk. There's a lot of tea to be served on sports talk, Mr. E. And Mr. E is going to talk about the playoffs and things like that. So we're going to see you then, and we want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time this weekend, and come back Monday and let us know what you did. Okay?
One question before we let them go.
Yeah.
Will the Warriors stick together?
Oh my goodness, Mr. E, I have high hopes for the Warriors.
They going out the back.
Mr. E said they're going home.
K. Thomas, he wouldn't even shake Steph Curry's hand.
Oh no.
That's right.
What's that all about?
That's team on team. Wouldn't shake his hand because, hey, something ain't right.
Well, anyway, look, you all have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Be blessed.
2 up, 2 down. VA. Bye now.
God bless you all.